Hello and welcome back to the Grapple Theory podcast. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Now, today we have a very special podcast for you because it's the first time we've featured two guests at the same time from in different rooms. We had two guests on at the same time with the new Progress owners, Martin and Lee, but they were in the same room. We've got two guests in different rooms this time. It's going to be an interesting dynamic, but you'll enjoy it all the same because of who they are. They are a tag team that's had just a phenomenal year in British wrestling, and they're hoping to take that worldwide at some point later this year and hopefully into 2023 as well. And we can't wait to see that if and when it pans out. They are the Progress Tag Team Champions. They are the RevPro Tag Team Champions. They hold singles belts individually as well. And we're delighted to have them on. Please welcome to the podcast this week, Sunshine Machine, TK Cooper and Chuck Mambo. Chuck, well, thank you so much for coming on. It's your first appearance on the Grapple Theory podcast. It's great to have you on. TK, we had you on sort of just a few weeks after we launched, which was great. And now you're back. Second-time guest, which is quite the achievement. TK, when we spoke last year, you spoke about sort of the things you wanted to achieve in the upcoming 12 months. And I think it's probably fair to say you guys have done that, right? Like, it's been a pretty crazy year for you.
I mean, I guess it depends what I said. I don't remember what I said last time, but I hope it was something along the lines of Progress Tag Champs and RevPro Tag Champs.
It wasn't specific, but it was. You want to capture more gold, want to do more tag stuff. There was something about facing the Young Bucks, which that's still could happen.
It's in the ether. We still got to manifest that one, but it's on its way.
But I mean, for the rest of it, RevPro Tag Champs, Progress Tag Champs. Mambo as well. He just picked up the belt in Riot Cabaret as well.
Yes, it's on the go to ambush.
It's been a crazy year for you guys. I mean, you must be just delighted with how it's gone.
I mark out first, pretty regular.
Mambo's too humble to also let you know that he also won the Defend Indie Wrestling 10-year anniversary tournament. So yeah. There you go. There's the Wall of Fame. There's the Wall of Fame right above the Spice Rack.
You're going to need a second one soon, the second rail.
It's going to fall soon. It's going to be too heavy.
Amazing. Well, I mean, let's start by talking about the tag belts. Obviously, picked up the RevPro one first, and then Progress. I mean, it must be great in terms of just, I guess, the gratification of it to know that those two companies, I guess, you think about it, the two biggest companies in the country have put those belts on you, said to you guys, we want you to be the face of the tag division.
So it was just you mentioning me talking about wanting to do more tag stuff in the last interview makes me think that at the time, I guess we didn't, we had wanted to pursue the tag thing, just put more effort into being a tag team rather than being like Chuck Mambo as an entity and TK Cooper as an entity. We wanted to just be, at the time, obviously it was like ETM turning into Sunshine Machine, but we just wanted to basically we just wanted to rebrand, show wrestling. I was going to say British wrestling, but I feel like wrestling as a whole thing is like where it's more important to just show wrestling that we want to take ourselves and our careers like more seriously. Don't lose anything of ourselves, don't lose our own personalities and don't lose how we normally are. We don't have to switch into black trunks and black boots. Not that there's a problem with that, but just that's not our thing, and that's not how you prove that you're serious wrestlers. It's just to show, just to put that across to promoters, promotions, fans, and just in general that TK Cooper and Chuck Mambo do really want to pursue being professional wrestlers, not necessarily in the realm of comedy wrestling or just because we're two goofy guys. Doesn't mean we're comedy wrestlers. We wanted to show that we can get it done in the ring. We can have those 5-star Meltzer matches as and when we need to, as and when we want to, if we can, if that matters. So to win, obviously there's like a win and then there's an actual win. So to have the RevPro tag team titles was like a real stamp of approval that the guys behind the scenes at RevPro support what we want to do. So from a real perspective, putting the belts on us, making us the face of the tag team division really gives us a little bit of a boost in terms of how we already perceive ourselves as something, and if the promotion says we agree, then they give you the belts, and then obviously from a wrestling fan perception standpoint, you see you see us progress in the way that we are and like performing in the matches that we're doing, and then to win the tag team belts is just a real, I guess, like moment of validation, and just it's a perception is reality thing where if we, if we're the champs in the promotion, we're the best team in the promotion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Mambo, I mean, leading on from that, obviously, talking about picking up the RevPro ones and then leading on to the Progress ones as well, was picking up the RevPro ones first almost like a moment where you sort of felt like that validation and the fact that your hard work was starting to pay off now, and then obviously leading into claiming the Progress tag belts as well? Did it feel like that sort of culmination of everything you've been working for?
Yeah, I think so, man, because what was the deal? Like, we were coming out of, well, I can't remember what the lockdown was, but like, as the first shows started coming back, we definitely felt like way more focused and like firing on all cylinders as a tag team. But then I don't think that we were particularly expecting to like start 2022 quite as hot as we did, because it was like tail end of January we beat the Knight family for like the RevPro tag belts. We're like, fuck, this is cool. And then we kind of got into like a little bit of a rush with ourselves where we were like, oh my god, if we can get the Progress ones at the same, like before we drop the RevPro ones, then we'll be like, we'll have both. Oh my god. And obviously it took us quite a while actually to get our hands on the Progress ones. But no, it gave us like a butt ton of momentum. I think we probably do owe Andy Quilden a bit of a thank you actually, because he did kind of give us a bit of guidance of like, remember that you're like, not that we are in the ring at all, but he was like, remember that if you kind of act like clowns outside the ring, that might carry forward a bit in perception. So I think we ride the line there where we can just be ourselves, but like still be taken like, well, the proof is in the pudding. Got all these kayfabe belts.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's like TK mentioned in the fact we've spoken to Gene Money as well. It's the fact that you guys can do the comedy stuff and have fun and have a good time, but like when it comes down to it as well, you guys are putting on like really great like quality matches as well.
Thanks, man.
We're trying our best.
And that's great to see, and it's great to see that it's showing through in what you've achieved this year. I mean, and moving on to,
I'm so glad we got to win them in like a ladder match as well. It was like just such a like childhood market moment. Like, we're getting the belts on the ladder.
Was that like make it extra special sort of thing?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. I mean, like, let's talk about that match and a few of the others you've had, because again, we talk about like, again, wanting to do the funny stuff, but also the serious stuff. And you mentioned again, like escaping the mid card. It seems like, do you guys feel that you've escaped the mid card now, or is that still, are you still pushing forward for more essentially?
I feel like it's tough to gauge because I guess it goes promotion to promotion, and I think like the way we present ourselves at RevPro and the way we present ourselves at Progress, we're trying to like basically make the tag team division like the most important thing in the show. Not to say we're trying to eclipse anybody, we're just like the work we are putting in as a tag team, and obviously now as the champs of both promotions, we're really just trying to put I don't know, just a bit more emphasis on tag team wrestling, and hopefully other tag teams feel the same way, and they're trying to put as much work into wherever they are on the card as well to come meet us. So then the tag division is just, again, what Mambo was saying, like firing on all cylinders. Yeah.
And going back to you, Mambo, I mean, we spoke to TK last year again with about people he wants to face or people you guys want to face as a team. I mean, the tag division in British wrestling at the minute, like you say, you guys want to be at the top of it, and you sort of really are up there at the minute. But there's so many other great teams where you can have fantastic matches. You talk about even in Progress, like Smoking Aces, where you've had some quality matches. But people like Lycos Jim and Young Guns when Ethan Allen comes back, and it just seems like there's a real depth of tag talent in the scene at the minute. Do you guys feel that way?
Oh, 100%. There's so many good matches.
That's what kind of makes it makes us, I guess, even a little prouder to be like top of the game when there's like such a hot tag division, rather than like I wouldn't be as proud if there wasn't so many other great tag teams out there as well. But also, maybe the tag scene wouldn't be so good without all those tag teams, obviously. But definitely looking forward to wrestling Young Guns when the chance comes back around. It'd be nice to have some more matches with the Light Costume. In fact, we got one coming up at RevPro with them, so that'd be cool. Yeah. I'm not sure how many times we've actually wrestled the 1-2-1. Like, I feel like we've wrestled variations of matches.
Yeah.
Never although when we did, we barely got time to wrestle anyway.
But now you're having that more time. That's the thing. That's what's obviously good about being top of the scene as well. Because you get a bit more time in those matches to really prove yourself.
Yeah, that is true. But I think like I saw, this is like weirdly unrelated but also related. Like Fred Rosser, he used to be Darren Young in WWE. He just won like the New Japan Strong title in America, and he said in his interview that like now that he's the champ, he said what it was like the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next, and I feel like that is quite similar for us. Like every time we got to the top of RevPro, but we were still here on Progress. Now we're at the top of Progress. It's like where's next for us? So like,
baby.
So escaping the mid card is basically where that comes back around. Where like we got out of one mid card to then move into the next mid. We're just going to keep climbing and keep moving into the next promotion. Trying to we are very much trying to Ultimo Dragon and win every belt simultaneously in British wrestling. Will that happen? I don't know. But we're trying our best, and we're making a play for it. So your TNTs, your ICWs, your OTTs, your even your local small promotions, we'll come and we'll beat your champs. We don't care.
That's what we want to see. That's what everyone needs, right? They need more Sunshine Machine, and that's the thing. You say British wrestling, but what about going abroad? What about things like Japan, America, places like that?
It's on the to-do list.
Yeah,
I really want to wrestle in Mexico before it's all said and done.
I think you go down well over there, especially bring the beach balls as well and everything.
Yeah, baby.
That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. And no, I mean, again, you sort of go back to TK, like what we were talking about last year, all these ambitions and aspirations. I mean, if we were sort of looking, another 12 months ahead, like you say, you want to capture more belts and things like that. In terms of I guess teams you'd want to face or individuals you'd want to face in singles or places you'd want to work. If we were having this conversation again next year, what would you say you would have wanted to achieve in that time? Let's say both of you, but let's go TK first.
Well, I think still Bucks is top of that list. Obviously, similar at a different level to us, probably significantly higher, but currently achieving similar success. FTR, they're triple strapped at the moment. I think just all the I feel like I'll just list off all of the famous teams, that's who I want us to wrestle, because not because of the fame, just because of the teams I think are really good. So it is the Young Bucks, FTR, the Briscoes, the Usos, the New Day, in any formation. And then bring it back to again, if we want to go local, then there's CPF, the Greedy Souls, Kings of the North,
Destination Everywhere.
Yeah, Destination Everywhere for sure. We've wrestled them loads at RevPro, but if we could wrestle them on just take it somewhere else, do it in Progress or do it up north. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you said in the ultra famous ones, Lucha Brothers, but
yeah.
I do have a book where I've written down a list of people I wanted us to wrestle, but I don't know where that.
I wonder if we could ever get a OG CCK match. That would be nice.
Yes, that would be great.
Wrestle the besties. Oh, dude, I had a really good one in my head and I just forgotten them again. Ah, shit. I don't know what contracts. Well, I got an idea of what contracts, but if we could wrestle at FSU, I feel like.
Yeah.
That's
the big one.
Progress coming together.
Yeah,
that's the unicorn. I think that's our big one. FSU.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Mustache Mountain are still together, and Grizzled Young Vets. But I would love
the Grizzles, of course.
There's so many dream matches still to be had.
Don't have people that we should be wrestling.
But that's the thing. I mean, it seems like again you guys have had this amazing year, and that. You mentioned sort of making that transition from ETM to Sunshine Machine, and that sort of almost, I guess, change in attitude and style you went through. Did it feel like that? Did it feel like something had clicked when you made that change that maybe wasn't there before? Let's go Mambo first.
Well, we initially made the change because one time when I was riding with Kara, he was talking about how you can basically put whatever branding you want on your merch and people will be they'll associate it with you. And he was and all of your merch says mid-card on it. We were drats. So before the lockdown, we were thinking about I guess we need to find a way to not be constantly associating ourselves with the mid-card. But then when the lockdown went on for as long as it did, we were well, if ever there was a time to just come back and have like a new narrative and just deny things from before, then it would be now. So yeah, I think in that sense, there must have been like at least a subconscious shift that we weren't like playing around with getting out of the big cat anymore. We were like, we are like a real sweet team. And then it's kind of nice. We got like almost a warm up of the tape-ins where there wasn't a live crowd and stuff, but like got into the swing of things, and it did feel like, I don't know, it was just like we had so much in our like pockets for like sequences and like combos and stuff to put together into matches that were like exciting. I think we come up with like a bunch of TK was saying, someone on the internet or something was like, they just do moves that their wrestling figures do. But we actually did spend a lot of the lockdown just being like, I wonder if you could do this. and then like when we got to the tapings, because you couldn't even go to like a training school really because of the COVID and shit. So there was a fair amount of just like, well, it worked in our heads and it worked kind of at the park. But I guess it just like solidified that it was what we wanted to focus on. Like, we've been offered like singles opportunities and things, and each time we were like, we will take singles opportunities, but we would much rather do like what we're coming back focused on is Sunshine Machine.
Yeah.
And so I suppose as well, like promoters knew that was our focus as well. So maybe that made them perceive us differently.
Yeah. What about you, TK? Did you sort of feel any sort of shift in dynamic when you made that sort of change over?
Nothing overt, I suppose. Like I guess it was all just like a subconscious change, really, because we didn't really. There is no real like physical match like differentiation between how Mambo and I have wrestled from like ETM to how we do now, other than just that it's all smoother and it's slicker because we've had more time to like rep it and train and practice together. But like ETM was never, as a performance, ETM was never a comedy shtick. It was always like just the way I wrestle and the way Mambo wrestles just mushed together.
Yeah.
But the only difference is now Sunshine Machine is just way more of a conscious effort to wrestle together.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And going back to, I want to go back to something you were saying earlier about in terms of, how, obviously you're still, perceived differently in different promotions. One promotion specifically I want to get onto where I guess the storyline dynamic is very different, or has been very different until recently, is Good Wrestling. Because
yes.
For all the I guess like success you've had in say RevPro and PROGRESS this year, the storyline in Good is very different. I mean, oh, Mambo's gone. There he is.
I said you shouldn't ask me about Good Wrestling.
That's it's fate, isn't it? That was just spirits causing that. But I mean, talk to me about that. How did this all start and like come about with Good, and like where did the idea come from? Because it's a little bonkers.
It's a bit bananas, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thinking we could put the RevPro and PROGRESS title belts on the line as soon as we'd won them. But then turned out the Lycos brothers were going over.
So at No Ring 3, they had the idea that Gene Money would come up for a match. So like the way that No Ring works, they don't announce any of the matches. They just announce who's on the show. So the main event was Gene Money versus... And if you were smart enough, you'd know that only me and Mambo hadn't like come out yet, so it must be against Sunshine Machine. But then it turns out I come out, and then there's a bomb strapped to me, and then after that, everyone's like, a bomb. So then Mambo's music, but like played at like half speed, so it's spooky. Yeah. Mambo comes out with a mustache, not dissimilar to his current mustache that he already had. So he had a mustache on his mustache. But it was just distinguishably evil. So now you've got evil Mambo, and he strapped a bomb to me, and he's going to kill everyone unless Gene beats him in 15 minutes, because that was the timer when the bomb went off. Through the match, it turns out that the story is actually that the mustache is making everybody evil because the mustache starts changing bodies. So like it went on Gene, and suddenly Gene was evil, and then it ended up on me, and then I was evil, and then the timer ran out, and then I had to run away to like save the day. So I leapt into a room, the bomb exploded, and I died.
Yeah.
From there, that brings us to Good 4. From there, that brings us to Good 4, where Mambo performs a seance and brings me back to life. Unfortunately, Mambo sucks at seances, so he brought 2 demons from hell also. So we had to fight them, and it was just a real loose plot that if we beat them, they go back to hell, and if we lose, we take their place in hell. Unfortunately, we took double destroyers through coffins, and we lost. So now we are in hell.
I was going to say, I don't know if you guys know this, but I don't know if it's a distinguishing thing for you or not. But that moment, you are on Botchamania now.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that like a badge of honor, or is it the opposite for you? Because I know people see Botchamania a lot of different ways.
I think it was my second time on that.
Plus, I think the spot is so funny. Like, it was Mambo's fault as well.
It was my fault. It turns out I screwed him.
Amazing. Amazing. So, how did it all come about first? Like, was it Good's idea to do this whole
concept is the two guys that run Goods. It's like they're mad brains. It was their idea. To be honest, the whole bomb situation wasn't actually supposed to lead to me dying. There wasn't a narrative to get to Good just Ring 4. It just kind of played out that way, and then that's where we are now. So I feel like I assume No Ring 5 is TK Mambo's excellent adventure and how we get back to
destruction.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's next for you guys now in sort of almost like the afterlife as it is?
I got no idea.
Ooh, could be. Maybe we had to play checkers with the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Checkers is an old one. Out of all the games you could have gone for, that's a...
Is that not what it is? Oh, Battleships.
Oh, Battleships would be better, yeah. That's more intense, isn't it?
Because at this stage, I don't think they've even announced No Ring 5. So until then, we're just in purgatory.
Yeah, so, just hanging out, just
for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make some kayfabe belts that we won in purgatory. Pad out the.
Oh yeah,
I like that. What you need to pitch them is what you need to pitch them is I don't know if this rings familiar with you guys, depending on if you're fans of it or not. But in Harry Potter, where the Horcruxes are what they wear necklaces, and that what makes them angry at each other and stuff. You need that, but say the moustache just turns up in random shows, not even to do with you guys, just turns up random places and people start putting it on.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That'd be cool. We'll get on the phone to Good. We'll talk to him about it. But I mean, talk to me as well. You mentioned No Ring, obviously, because we were talking about that. But again, going back to almost Progress stuff, talk to me about that whole sort of strong style weekend, because it seemed like a big wrestling weekend for the UK, the biggest we've definitely had since lockdown. But it seemed like it was really nice to see all these companies almost coming together in one place to have.
Yeah, it was a real almost unintentional wrestling festival over the Jubilee.
Yeah.
What did we have? So obviously Progress was
the 3 days.
The 3 days. The first night there was Eve, but there was also the Superior Rock Paper Scissors 16 tournament that went off without a hitch. Incredible, actually, sold out, standing room only.
Quite something. Babyface won for the second year in a row.
I was going to say, you guys, that must be really nice. Richie. Yeah, it's probably nice to have this concept that sort of just evolved again through the strong styles, and to actually almost have it again be its own thing now.
Oh yeah, baby. I think it stands alone as the greatest sporting contest in Europe.
Love it, we love it. But yeah, like you say, it seemed like a real not planned out, just festival of British wrestling, which is great because you had so many different promotions running shows across London, and it just seemed like everyone's...
Even then, the second day, it was. I mean, obviously, it wasn't the case for everybody, but we opened Super Strong Style Day 2 with the ladder match, winning the Progress tag titles, probably equally one of the greatest achievements of Sunshine Machine run so far. And then we closed the end of the day by main eventing No Ring 4 by just silliness. So I think it's just a testament to the variety you can get at British wrestling, and a testament to our versatility as good, kind-hearted guys trying our best, and then winning the big tag titles at the top of the ladder, but then also not taking ourselves so seriously that we can't just do something stupid in the evening.
Yeah.
So, although if you ask some of the internet, the ladder match was stupid too.
That's true,
But that morning, because was it that morning or the Friday? I forget. But I was because we weren't going to be able to get tables because they had tables in the main event of that day. I was like, oh, maybe we can use my surfboard. So I went to my friend's house to get a surfboard, but she's moving house, so she's got loads of stuff in her attic that she just needs to get rid of. And she ran like an art slash end of life care exhibition called Life, Death, Whatever. So she had these coffins filled with balls, like ball pit balls. And she was like, well, you should take them as well. They'll be great. I was like, shit, yeah, I should. But I didn't think I don't know, I just didn't think it would work out. But then, like, to the point of, like, we are champions now. We should take it ourselves very seriously. And then, like, everyone who had been in the ballroom just saw TK and me with, like, one of those IKEA trolleys, like, really cautiously walking down Camden High Street, trying not to spill all the balls everywhere.
That's brilliant. But again, like, almost
they
like you
didn't
say,
cut properly or anything, and we had to cram them up this, like, old-ass pub theatre stairway with like all the balls falling out and stuff. And props to good, they were good supports about it because we went like way over curfew on the show anyway, and then they had to get rid of 3 cops. I actually managed to give some to just some women that were on a night out. I was like, hey, would you like this bag of balls?
Amazing.
And they're like, yeah, we love them.
Just give it away. Yeah, anyone will take a bag of like plastic balls. That's fine. That's fine.
People like them actually. Yeah.
But it's like you say, TK. It's like I think that sort of that whole day perfectly encapsulates what Sunshine Machine is all about, right? You can have like the funny, crazy, weird matches, but also like the mental, like 5-star, really great matches as well.
We can do it all.
Do it all, exactly. And I want to go on to Riot Cabaret as well, because obviously that's just recently happened. Mambo, we'll get on to like sort of like the title win in a little bit. But first of all, I want to ask both you guys, as we had a few people there like that we know who do reviews for us and stuff like that. We had a review go out for the show as well. And a few of the guys that I know who went said it felt a lot like the atmosphere at Riptide from down in Brighton. I mean, for you guys as Riptide regulars, in terms of just like the atmosphere in the field, is that something you can sort of like relate to or understand how they felt that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, big time. We were all saying that backstage actually, that it felt like Riptide. So
really?
Funny that everyone picked up on that. Similar first champion as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There's the link. But like, so what was it about it that? Let's go TK next. But what was it about it that that made it feel like that? What was it about the atmosphere? Because obviously, I think there's a few new promotions coming out of the woodwork now after lockdown and stuff, and obviously that can be a little bit of apprehension about that. But it's really good to see a company get off to a good start with a show like this and get that really good atmosphere going.
I guess it was just a mix of things, really. Like the professionalism from the guys who run the whole thing, very similar to Riptide. I think similar backgrounds, well, similar-ish, where like Josh came from like a musical and gig background, and James, who runs Riot Cabaret, is more theater based. But there's a crossover there where like how to deal with like talent and stuff. So there was that, and then like the actual like presentation of the show. So I guess like the Clapham Grand is so like beautiful and magnificent, and credit to Josh, I guess, where like Riptide was literally just in a church hall that he just dressed up really, really nice. So you would never know that just behind the big curtain there was just like just a big organ. But the room itself was like just a church hall. But because of all the extra bits and pieces that Josh added to it, it really dressed up the room. And then I think just atmosphere wise, it was real like Riptide-esque, just the way. I don't really know. Like, obviously, like, I recognize, like, loads of faces when I'm out there, so I'm just like, oh, this is just another wrestling show. But then, I don't know, there was just something different about... I think it was because there were so many new... Like, maybe James and, like, other, like, Riot Cabaret management had kind of reached out into, like, their social circles and brought, like, some people in to come, like, watch wrestling. So it just came across a lot more... I don't really know. It's not really. I'm not sure if it's a really tangible thing. I mean, I say that now. Mambo might just like bang, 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 and like explain exactly why it's similar. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. It was just like there's just elements of it that were real similar. So, and it was cool.
Yeah. Go on,
yeah. I got too many things on my brain. I took some guy in the pub afterwards who wasn't like friends with James or anyone. He'd just like seen that it was on of a Tuesday and come on. He was like, "Oh man, I haven't watched wrestling since like WrestleMania 17 or 18 or something." But like this was sick. I was like, "Oh no way, you should come more. Like you'll see it everywhere now that you see it." But I think they had like definitely same kind of approach of like not being. They hadn't had any experience of being in wrestling, I don't think, but like they seem to understand wrestling, which sometimes new promoters like just have these completely like, we're gonna flip wrestling on its head and you will wrestle in an upside down ring and it will be great or something crazy. But like they seem to like understand how to build like a good show like Riptide did, but then still have like kooky, daft ideas like the fans pick the music rumble and stuff, which makes it like exciting and fresh and new and things. But like, yeah, it's still based in like a good structure for a wrestling show and things. And so like, I think they asked quite a lot about our opinions on things before like booking them solidly as well, which is always really nice. And then, yeah, like the way they took care of the wrestlers too. I think it's maybe like coming up in BritWres, you get used to such low standards of like care backstage that when people come from outside of Britain, they're like, oh yeah, like it makes sense that you would have like a dressing room. So yeah, they just like really took care of us, which reminded me of it. Oh, and then like the fans, I'd say it was like 20%, maybe like tops 30% like regular British wrestling fans, like as in regulars 2 shows, not regular people. But like and then like 70% like new people who like had come along as like a night out in Clapham or whatever. But the like regular kind of diehard BritWres fans are so good at like leading the charge with chants and stuff. I love it because they're like so uninhibited and stuff. Because it could be quite awkward. Like if you ever try to get a chant going and it dies down and you just feel like a prick. But then they like they know like everyone's chants and they like they lead it like so passionately that then the new people who are like just kind of like drunk and having a good time get on board with that, and then before you know it, it creates this awesome atmosphere. And like to be fair, even though it was like a sick venue, it was only like the bottom tier, I guess, that they took. Oh no, and then like all the boxes as well. But I definitely think that like within a year or two they'll be like packing it out.
Yeah, hopefully so. That's what we love to see, isn't it? That's what we love to see. No, who reviewed it? Oh, it was someone I'm sure you guys know well. Ewan, who's Mr. hashtag Grapsmeats on Instagram. He always posts photos. Yeah, really, really tall. You'll know. Yeah. He reviewed it, and like I think he said basically that you two guys, I think your 2 like qualifying matches for the title match at the end of the night were the 2 matches of the night.
Well, thank you very much, Ewan.
He always says straight stuff about you. Like he knows what everyone else knows, that you guys are just great either as a team or individually. But Mambo, again, like let's talk about picking up the title. I mean, first show, another title added to the rail that we saw earlier. Yeah, there it is. Look at it, it's beautiful. I mean, that must just be really nice for to come in sort of day one and for a company to say like, you know, we want you to be the guy who sort of like leads us forward.
Yeah, it was really flattering, man. Nice, especially like when it's a company that has such a good kind of energy and atmosphere to it, and they're like treating everybody really well, and for them to want you to be like, yeah, I don't know. I always say to like people who, because get really stumbly here, like we're trying to explain that wrestling is like fake, but the belts are kind of real in as much as like they give you a bit of a rub that like they think you're good enough to like represent the company and stuff, and like build it around it. It was awesome. And of course, it was great to have TK right by my side for the celebration.
Yeah, that was really nice.
And now we're even Stevens, 2 tag belts and 1 singles belt each. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have a little like sort of like friendly competition between you to be like, you know, who's got the more belts?
I wouldn't say so, really.
No, we just try to rack them and stack them. To be honest, we're just trying to accumulate as many as we can.
It's one collective group effort rather than a
I think so, yeah. But it was real nice because the first matches were obviously like pretty, like we were in there with really good wrestlers like Cara and Haskins, and like, the entire like qualifying thing was like so. But like those matches took a lot of time to prepare for. So the 4-way, I didn't necessarily have a lot of time to prepare for that match, which like just before the pandemic, I'd gotten so comfortable with like just being like, oh well, either I know what will happen or I don't, and that's fine. But like it's taken me a while to like get back into a flow of like being comfortable with like the unknown and stuff. I just found wrestling a bit more nerve-wracking since coming back, I guess because of the break and because we're maybe on like a higher stage than we had been. But just something about the atmosphere and being in that, like with such a safe pair of hands in the 4-way, like it felt real good to just be like, hey, we haven't like had this for a long time, but like whatever happens will be fun.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's really great to hear. Well, we've got a sort of closing segment here on the podcast. TK, you did one with us when you first came on called Matches That Shaped My Life. I don't even remember that. But we've got a new one since then. This is called Anatomy of a Pro Wrestler. And this is more of a shoot. This is more about you guys as people rather than TK and Mambo as wrestlers. So I'll put some questions out there to you, and you let me know what comes up, and I'll sort of like point to each one of you in turn, and we'll go from there. But the first one, let's start with TK. It's my favorite pre-show meal.
Tesco's mango.
Nice, just a nice little tub of fruit. Like it.
I was going to cheese and that funny meat you wrap together.
Oh yeah.
What's that? The what like?
Sometimes I just buy like prosciutto and like a bunch of like mini cheeses and just eat it like that.
That's when you're feeling a bit more fancy.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. What about you, Mambo?
What do I like? I normally end up getting one of those like pret-a-manger falafel things,
nice
falafel box things, which is a bit upmarket. But the problem with that is I'm so bored of them. Like they're pretty good, and they kind of convince my head that I'm full of nutrition. But I don't know. As long as I have a Lucozade Sport lately and two sprays of the mint cinnamon spray for my gum shield, I feel all right.
Awesome. Well,
it's some of my better performances. I've had like fucking huge meals that day, so maybe
there's a thing, link there, yeah. Well, Mambo, let's start with you next, because the next one is the opposite end of the spectrum. It's my favourite post-pinfall pig out.
Oh, God, I don't know. There was a nice time when it was the Progress tapings where, because you had to stay in the bubble the whole time, but then on the last day we'd get like a Chinese takeaway and just like feast. So maybe like salt and pepper tofu and a butt ton of veggie spring rolls and some kind of like rice noodles, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, great shout. Chinese is always a good shout. TK, agree?
Yes, similarly. Not the same order, mind you, but 100%. The big Chinese was such a staple of the diet at in the lockdown tapings, and even not as regularly, but we've dabbled. We've dabbled since. So mine is usually, and this is well, what used to be for me and my girlfriend, and it ended up just being just for me because I'm just I'm greedy like that. So crispy seaweed, chili beef.
Nice.
Crispy chili beef, mind you. Satay chicken skewers, and shoot, I can't remember what the fourth one is, but
nice.
Oh, it's a quarter duck.
Oh yeah, with the pancakes.
With the pancakes. That's the one. That
is the best. That's like the real like treat yourself moment with the Chinese. That's when you're like splurging on a Chinese. You're like, oh, let's get the duck and pancakes.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
I don't know that anytime we do a RevPro show, or almost anytime, we end up getting a train back to London Bridge, and then like 2 cans of Desperado each, and this Cafe Rossi, I think it's called. It's like the only kebab shop that's still open. I don't even really like the food there, but it's just like a nice tradition. I don't dislike it.
Nice. Yeah, that's how you know it's been like what's just happened. It's like that, like you say, tradition of like, oh, we'll go there just because.
Yeah. It's what we do.
Yeah, you know, we get the train back from Orpington back to London Bridge, and then it's straight to Cafe Rossi. chicken and chips for me with the salad, and falafel wrap with chips for Mambo.
Classic. Yeah. Nice. Good calls. I like them. Well,
no garlic aioli, strictly chili because of the vegan.
Oh, of course. I was going to say, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I think some places do it like vegan.
Chili garlic, and I've been like, just chili, and then you eat it, and it's got chili. Oh man.
Amazing. Well, they're not all food based, but the final food one is just your favorite type of food ever. You know, there's no shows or whatever. It's just been you fancy your favorite food. What is it? Let's go. TK first.
Mexican.
Nice.
I bloody love tacos, quesadillas, burritos.
Love it.
All of it.
Nice. Mambo?
I would say Mexican, yeah. One good reason to try wrestle in Mexico. Although I suppose real Mexican food probably isn't so great for vegan. Slut cheese.
Yeah, they do cheese, don't they? But again, that's not really vegan, is it? No.
It's not that vegan.
No, it's not at all vegan.
It's pretty fucking delicious. So.
No, that's fair enough. To be honest, Mexican is one thing I don't know. Like, I'm sort of like, it's technically London, but it's just outside, like, of the main bit. And, like, nothing on Deliveroo is, like, Mexican food. So I have no Mexican around me. It's really upsetting.
It's rough going.
It is the tough times.
I was going to say tough times.
Yeah. The next one is for each of you.
Did you see that when he was like, "Well, it does make me sad to not be prime minister, but them's the breaks." He's trying to make himself, like, seem a little more relatable. But everyone will be like, he's pretty cool actually.
Them's the breaks is going to be a staple in British wrestling, though. You watch, like, in terms of, like, promos and stuff, people are going to be milking that. Like,
ooh, I reckon so. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, next one is for each of you the song that gets me the most hyped. Let's go Mambo first.
Sometimes, rather than a song, I like to just watch Chris Farley's entrance on, what was that guy called? He was like a real famous talk show host guy. I don't know, but if you just put it on YouTube, Letterman, David Letterman.
Right.
Chris Farley's entrance, best entrance ever on Letterman. It's so funny. It gets me so excited.
I've not seen that. I'll have to check that out. I love Chris Farley, but I've not seen that.
Outside of that, Viva Las Vegas.
Nice, yeah. What a shout! What a shout! What a shout, TK.
The most hyped. I don't know, because I don't really listen to music before, like, wrestling or anything. But usually, I guess like, I used to walk home from the gym and listen to this song on repeat when I was trying to think of promos, because it just kind of gets me in, like, the zone. So it's this song, "The Way" by Zach Hemsey. I think, like, people have. It's not like a song. It's I don't really know how to explain it. It goes for like 8 minutes, but it just gets me psyched when I was trying to, back in the day when I was the master of the promo. But again, back in Riptide. So,
yeah. Nice.
I used to really want to have, like, because our story didn't, like, come fully to fruition at Riptide because things got cut short, I guess. But, like, I used to really, really want to have, like, a match hype promo to Skyfall by Adele.
Nice.
Still be really. I guess it would be like a Sunshine Machine versus someone.
Yeah, that would have been good. That would have been great. The next one is let's go TK first. Next is my favorite band. Just of all, it doesn't have to be a band. It can be like a solo performer, but, like, favorite music act of all time.
Of all time. Maybe that puts more pressure on it than it really needs. But my favorite band is 660. It's just a Kiwi band from New Zealand. They're really good.
What sort of music are they?
I mean, I don't know genre exactly, but, like, it's not that difficult either. It's just like, they do, like, a bit of rock, they do a bit of pop, they do some, they just kind of somewhere in between. But it's just nice.
Nice. All right, I'll check them out. Mambo.
I'm a little. I've got, like, probably like a 3-way tie between Real Big Fish, Adele, and a band called the Skints.
I know, I love the Skints. Yeah, that's a great
right?
shout. That's great. That's like, wow. I suppose Skints and Real Big Fish are sort of similar, but Adele's the wild card in that for sure.
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know what was cool though. I saw the Skints at Clapham Grand. Like, it was the first gig I saw since the lockdown and shit.
Nice.
So the title at the Clapham Grand was pretty nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, you need to come out to the Skints really there just to, like, really push it. But obviously that would have been weird. People have been like, why is he coming out to the Skints?
Used to.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. Next one is the best gig I've been to. Talking about gigs. Give you some time to think. Let's go Mambo first once you've had time to think.
Hold on, when you come back to me, I'm sure there's one that I'm forgetting.
That's fine. Go on. TK's in thought. Go on.
Yeah. I'll go. It's real cheap because it's the most recent one I've been to, so it was my favorite. But it was the band. They flew. They were doing, like, their world tour, 660, like, literally in December.
Nice.
Otherwise, if I can't do a cop out of the same answer, I'll say Lionel Richie in Hyde Park.
Again, that's very different, but that is a good shout as well. I imagine he'd be good live.
He was wicked. Yeah, it was like years ago when I first moved over. My uncle just had tickets, so
nice.
It was like with a bunch of acts. So I think I saw, like, J-Lo, the guys. I think I saw Cameo, or I can't remember. But yeah, it was Lionel Richie was the headline, and it was crazy.
Random, love it. I love it. That's really eclectic as well. That's just really out there. Not as a performer, because obviously so well known, but just in terms of like the sort of music we've been talking about, it's just very different. I like it.
I think I can't remember the one that I feel like there was a really good one, but so Skins at what do you call it? Boomtown.
Right.
Like the Lion's Den one, yeah. And because me and my friend Lauren, we always go and watch the Skins when they're there, and we always go and watch Go Go Bordello when they're there.
Nice.
But this time they were like clashing, and we were like, shit, which one do we choose? But we'd seen the Skins the most, and we were like, I guess we'll go see the Skins.
Nice.
We had to choose the one that you've already seen the most, but they were on this. It was like a huge rally at the festival this year, and dude, yeah, they were just wicked.
Nice. Love it.
But I actually saw Go Go Bordello at the same festival, and like a different year, and that was sick.
Nice. Next one is the movie that I chose, The Locker Room. Let's go Mambo again then.
I'd show The Locker Room.
Yeah. Essentially, it's like almost like you've got to the show like ridiculously early for whatever reason, and you walk into the locker room and you're like, right, guys, we're sitting down, we're watching this movie because this is the best movie.
Oh, nice. Well, there was a TK there was a time at they did like a 2-day Tuesday night Graps or something. So there was a really nice time when we were just all sat around watching Crank 2 on someone's phone in the rig. But the one I would recommend the highest is from Disney Plus. It's called The Boy Who Can Speak to Badgers.
Sorry, it's called what?
The Boy Who Spoke to Badgers.
What? I mean, I've got Disney Plus. I've gone through the movies 100 times there. I've not seen that one on there. What is that?
They might have taken it off. I think
Shit is what it is. It's shit. It's not good. It's not even worth. This is like the longest bit Mambo's ever done.
I don't have these views anymore, so it might be. I didn't finish it. I just saw like the first 10 minutes, but it was pretty captivating until I fell asleep.
That's fair enough. I mean, me and my partner do the same. We used to have like sort of like bad movie night. You know what I mean? Where you go on like Disney Plus or Amazon Prime, you pick the ones that just intentionally look awful.
Bad movie.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Yeah, I might have insulted you there saying it's a bad movie. It might be classic. But,
this podcast is done.
How dare I say that about it? TK's not impressed though. You can tell. Like the look on his face. He's just like, no.
I think he liked more of it than me.
It's not a good film. Yeah, I didn't even watch all of it.
But is it not a good film in the sense that it's so bad that it's like funny, or is it just bad?
No, I think it's just boring.
Yeah, okay.
I genuinely, what I like about those old movies is they didn't like have to try and catch your attention or anything. I guess you'd like already go to the movies back then was like the only thing you could do for like a week or something. So it was just like he's like just walking through the field for about 20 minutes.
Brilliant. Okay, go on. Well, TK,
he can talk to badgers and every other animal, by the way.
Oh.
They don't talk back or nothing. Like,
but why? What have the badgers got to do with the time? If he
could speak to badgers,
if he can speak to all animals, what are the badgers like integral to the storyline, or like?
He particularly liked this badger,
right? Okay.
And American badgers do look nice, but then his dad was like, I think the kid was kind of lonely, and his dad brought in a guy to exterminate the badgers. And so that's where you could see that the plot was coming to, but
right.
He got lost down the screen. Also,
don't give too much.
What I'm scared about now, though, is that I am supporting this film, and actually, it was made like 50 years ago. So if it happens to have like really horrible politics, I need you to know that I didn't see that bit.
Okay.
It is one of those films that's on Disney Plus that has like the big disclaimer on it before you watch it, of like, this was made in this time. What people say it do. Does not reflect Disney today.
Yeah. But I've gone TK. I don't think TK can top that movie as a great movie. But like, no. Not recommend anything else. Not even worth recommending anything else.
Yeah. Why even bother? Like, when you've got the best, that's all you need. So.
Brilliant. Well, fair enough. I can't argue that. Well, TK has the honor then of answering the next one. It's a little easier, I guess. It's my favorite way to relax.
What do I do specifically to relax? I don't know. I guess I just play PlayStation or just like hang out with everybody, or like go to the pub and hang out with everyone.
Nice. Yeah. Mambo, same?
I like to listen to funny old country music and sip whiskey on my own.
Nice. Love it.
But also hanging out with everyone is probably nice.
No, I think the country music thing is better. I like that more.
It was a real nice time when like it was the lockdown or whatever still, but I was working in this special needs college, and by the time you got home, because it was winter, it was dark. But if you leave the curtains open just at the top, then all the car lights would make a funny pattern on my bedroom ceiling, and I just play weird country songs.
Nice. I love the idea of that. It's just great. It's almost like your own sort of like own saloon kind of thing, you know. Need someone to just burst through the door already. Brilliant. Well, the next one is a big old throwback. We'll go Mambo first. It's my first job.
What was my first job? Play assistant in a school at the back of my house.
Nice. Easy commute.
Very easy commute. Yeah, can't knock it.
Nice. You enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fun, man. It was like an after-school club, so all you have to do is just, it was like minimum responsibility, just play. They didn't even like have any kind of like guidelines. So go have fun with the kids.
Nice.
And actually, the woman that was my boss there was so sick. She was like really into like getting them to use their imagination and stuff. And then she took me to like a load of festivals to do silly science and granny bingo, and it was a blast. Got into like Shambhala and Big Green Cat, no, not Big Green Cat, Boomtown and stuff.
Nice.
Fun.
Love it. TK?
I think it was just like working in retail at this like beach and skate outlet store in New Zealand.
Nice.
Enjoy
it as well? Was that like your sort of scene kind of thing, or?
Yeah, like it was okay. You know, like at the time it was just to be a kid with money.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's what you want, isn't it? When you're that age, you don't really care what it is. You're just like, right,
Yeah.
the cash is more important.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Nice. The next one is well, again, it sort of like leads on to like other jobs and stuff. But it's if I wasn't a wrestler, I'd be. Let's say TK first.
I don't know. I think I would like to be a pilot, just because I think that's just because I like traveling. So I think it would be fun. Obviously, it's like way more work. That you don't just sit there and it just goes. But like the thrill of like I don't know, flying a plane and just going to different countries and being on the mic, I suppose, and being like, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our cruising altitude. Other than that, though, yeah, that was literally just off the top of the dome. I don't know if I really have any other aspirations, like, or in the back pocket to do other jobs.
That's fair enough. What you need really is for like to after you finish wrestling, become a pilot, and then just in a rare moment have like a sort of wrestling flashback where you're on the tannoy, you're like telling the safety instructors, but you just have this weird moment where you like flash back and start doing a wrestling promo.
Yeah.
And if you don't stay seated until the light comes on, I'm gonna kick your ass.
What's turbulence to a messiah?
Love it. Mambo, what about you? You seem to be into sort of like the whole teaching and things like that. So,
well, this is convenient actually because I always wanted to be an airline assistant. So,
Sunshine Machine reunite on an airplane. There we go.
No, I don't know. I figure if I didn't wrestle, maybe I'd travel around more. But that's pretty vague.
Yeah, that's a little, but that's fair enough. That's cool. Like TK can fly, and you guys can travel together. There we go.
Something environmental. Yeah.
Nice. That'd be cool. No, I like it. Next one is a little deep. It's my greatest fear.
Ooh.
Let's go Mambo first.
Well, I get these what do you call it? Like sleep paralysis, I think.
Oh, do you? Oh, I know a couple of people that have that. It sounds terrifying.
It's so fucking horrible because then when you think you've woken up from the dream, you haven't woken up from the dream. And then sometimes after like the fourth layer of inception, you're like, all right, well, this is probably just I'm not awake either.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But one time I was like in there and I was like screaming for some reason for my mum. And then I was like, wait, your mum's not here. But my friend Will was next door. So I was like, Will. And then I fell off and hit my head on the cabinet. I was like, fuck. And then the dream just went, graphics glitchy again, and then I was back in my bed. But then there was a clown sat at the end of my bed, and I was like, fuck. And he stood up all slow and scary, and he took off his face, and when he took off his face, just like the essence of, it was like the embodiment of fear was just like his face. Like nothing scary, it was like black, but it was just like the spirit of fear there, and I was just like screaming.
No, that's terrifying. That is terrifying.
I wasn't even like screaming. I was like Which I guess maybe somewhere deep down is like a fear of being paralyzed. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is terrifying. Like, that sounds ridiculous. Like, I know other people that say like they've woken up like with that, and there's someone at the end of their bed and they can't move, and I'm like, oh my god, I would hate that so much. Like,
Really?
that's like worst thing. Yeah, yeah. No, it's bad. What about you, TK?
I guess I just don't know.
No, that's fair enough.
No, like I don't have like your traditional fears like like spiders and stuff. So I don't really know.
That's fair enough. It's something that's
So,
not even happened yet. Like, you're not
My
even
deepest
aware.
fear is not that I am inadequate; it's that I am powerful beyond belief. I think is the quote from Coach Carter.
Another great thing to quote, right?
But yeah, sorry, I don't have a.
That's fair enough.
I don't have a deep metaphysical.
No, that's fair enough.
Answer.
That's
That's
fair
lame. Now it sounds like I'm being a dick. Where I just like, I'm not scared of anything. I just I don't.
No, but that's fair enough. We've had people on the show as well who are like, you don't know you have a fear until something happens, and then you're afraid of it, and like, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Until it's too late.
And a couple of wrestling-based ones. The first one is almost like a two-parter. We'll go to you, TK, first, because you sort of half of it you answered last year when I asked you your favorite match ever, in terms of in the ring, and you said it was you and Mambo at Riptide. I think you said the first one, not the second. I think you said the first one. But I'm just wondering if that's changed now, and it's sort of like a two-parter because it's favorite match you've been in and the favorite match your favorite match that you've watched.
Right. Well, it's tough because I feel like Mambo and I have spoken about this like real recently. That like was us versus Ricky Knight Jr. and Zach our best match, or was the ladder match our best match because those were matches where we won like championships, or were those just like our most like successful like matches? So not that anyone I don't know would jump to those conclusions right away, but it's just like a conversation we've had recently. Like, do our most successful matches mean they're our best matches, or is it like what makes like obviously it's a personal preference thing for like what's your best match, but like it was so easy last time because I just knew because I knew what I felt and I remember like the feeling in the room being like this is the best match I've ever done, but I don't know, not necessarily that I haven't felt that, but just if I am like forcing like those qualities onto matches because I'm like I will never forget this. Like I remember being at the top of the ladder and being like, I'll never forget this. And then like even as I say it now, I can still like picture it in my head, like the whole layout of the room and what was going on. So it was like a real unforgettable time. So wasn't my best match though, I'm not sure. But it was like my favorite.
Yeah.
It was definitely my favorite match, the ladder match.
Nice. What about one you watched?
I don't.
There's a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain for like something that jumps out. Like the first one I can think of that as a match I remember is FTR versus the Briscoes from Supercard of Honor. But like I don't even think that was like my favorite one I've watched. So yeah, I don't know. Can you circle back?
Yeah, we'll circle back. Mambo, what about you? We spoke, obviously TK mentioned the whole like RevPro and PROGRESS matches. Where do you sit on like just in terms of your own personal opinion? Like, are those your favorite matches because of the moments?
They're definitely some of my favorite memories for sure. The other two we were talking about was like us and the Aussies at York Hall. Like that definitely felt like one of our best performances, I think. And then us and the Velocities the other day. Like I was real proud of how it all came off. And then sometimes. I think the audience like get a bit of an eggy that you want like a standing ovation or whatever, but like we didn't do that like waiting around thing or anything. Like we just kind of looked up and they were like all on their feet. So that was like a really special moment for me. I think I was really happy with how that happened. And it's almost like cheating because they're such a hyped crowd. But us and Inga, God, I forget, Randesbang me in Denmark.
Yeah.
It was just such a fun match, man. It was awesome. And then, like, obviously all the big ones in the build-up to the win at Progress as well were huge. Like, the atmosphere at the 10-year anniversary show was nuts. And then the 01211 where there was, like, the 8-minute count for just both of the teams and stuff. So I think, yeah. I don't know. I couldn't really choose one.
No, that's fair enough. Well, on a tangent then, like TK, if you're still thinking on a tangent, you mentioned Body Slam, and we had Christian from Body Slam on the show a little while after you, TK, a few weeks after. And I don't know if you remember this, but he mentioned this moment where you guys were obviously wrestling over there, and you were going for your headbutt, TK, and you know the I'm Samoan thing. And like no one could hear you because the crowd was being really loud. Like he mentioned that, and like that it was just like quite funny because like you were going through that whole bit, but like the crowd was so raucous that like it seemed like no one could actually hear that part.
I think that bit's a real mix of like the crowd was like insane, but also they're not necessarily like all wrestling fans or no 100 like even if they are wrestling fans, they weren't like Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper wrestling fans. Like they did not know us whatsoever. So trying to run like a bit where like we're doing like specific shtick, they didn't like conceptually they had no idea. They just thought we were all stood around, so they were just going wild.
Sure.
They didn't they didn't know that part of the bit is everyone goes quiet, so Mambo can say the bit, and then we do the thing, and then we move on, and you go back to being loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was just.
He quite enjoyed that. He said that was quite a funny experience because of what you said, because they didn't know what was coming, and so they were just acting how they would act.
Well, you got to keep the promoter happy.
Love it. What about you, Mambo? Do you have like off the top of your head like a favorite wrestling match ever, one that you've seen not been in?
But I think the one I normally say is Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks, because it's such a cool, like it's such a spot fest of a tag match, but it has, as tag matches go, I think it has the best of like different dynamics within the match. Like Kenny is pretty pissed at the Bucks, but kind of like apologetic as well. And then like I think Matt is way more mad at Kenny than Nick is, but then like it all escalates, and Ibushi's just kind of in there as like a mercenary kind of. But then like he gets pissed off, and then like it just, and obviously like the fucking Wild just moves out. That's it.
Yeah.
But then there was one match as well. I forgot what the teams were specifically now, but it was like FSU versus maybe CCK and Shay in the barn in Cheltenham. It's just like the nutsest match in like a little barn.
Love it. Love
so
it.
Sick.
Nice. You have one, TK? Have you thought of one or?
Yeah, I was gonna say either Hangman and Kenny versus the Bucks from like Revolution, like what was it, like a year ago?
Yeah.
Similar dynamics, I think, where just like the friends are kind of at a crossroads. Everyone's trying to achieve different things. I think it does kind of like mirror the Golden Lovers Young Bucks one, where I think they took a lot of story beats from it. But like I just remember just all of the twists and turns in the back end were like really, really like exciting. So you couldn't really pick where it was going to go. And just to have Hangman and Kenny win, I remember being like, I didn't expect that at all. I really thought that was going to be the one where the Bucks would do it. So
nice,
because I really enjoyed the story in the match.
Yeah, for sure. No, good choices there. Good choices. Well, the next one is I feel like I know what you're going to say. Oh, go on, Mambo.
This is just showing what a big AEW mark I am, really, but not like necessarily the actual match, but just like it being the culmination of such a long story. Hangman and Kenny. When Hangman wins, for some reason, when the nameplate thing comes up for Hangman on his entrance and it says like "We're proud of you," the production team or whatever, it was like, it's gonna fucking happen.
That's the moment, yeah.
It's such a cool build and everything. I think it's great.
Love that. Yeah. Next one, I feel like I know what you're going to say because TK, we asked you last year and it's still not happened, but I feel like it's Dream Match. Is it still Young Bucks?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Mambo?
Oh, same, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a classic match. We need to get Tony Khan on the phone, yeah.
Other very, very dreamy matches too. I think it'd be like
there's definitely well, I feel like we've already gone down the list a little bit earlier on, but yeah, I think at the top would be the Bucks for sure.
Next one is my favorite venue to wrestle in. Let's say TK first.
I guess it's a toss-up between York Hall and the Ballroom. Not really sure. That the atmosphere is pretty crazy in both of them. I suppose I'll sit on the fence and just go with either or.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Mambo? Can you split the difference?
I don't think the garage was so cool. Maybe because that's where I saw like my first like modern indie show, where it was like it like blew my mind about how like cool indie wrestling can be.
Nice.
But yeah, I always had the wicked atmosphere.
Nice, awesome. Well, a couple of final ones. They're travel based. Let's start with Mambo. It's my favorite place in the world.
My favorite place in the world?
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, the first thing that came to my head was there's this place in Malta I went to last year called St. Peter's Pool, where you can just like kind of jump off the rocks and go like real deep down.
Nice.
So I guess that's what comes to my mind first.
Nice. TK?
Probably Northland in New Zealand. Like, it's hard to explain really in particular why, but I guess it's similar where it's just like a really nice like quiet beach area in New Zealand. Just really rate it. It's good for swimming, good for surfing, so it's fun.
Nice, love it. And then the other one is my dream holiday destination. Let's go TK first.
Well, I just came back from the Canary Islands, and that was awesome. That was pretty much everything I would want in a holiday. Just like sunny, not very busy, and right by the beach. So that's I don't know if that ticks a lot of boxes for other places in the world, but Gran Canaria really sorted me out for that.
Nice.
And everything was cheap as well. That's the other main hook.
That's always better. That's always handy. Yeah.
Good quality but cheap. You know.
Yeah.
So
you love that. Yeah. When you go somewhere and you're like, oh, I pay way more for this back home.
Yeah. I better get 10 of them.
Yeah. What about you, Mambo? Favorite holiday destination?
Absolutely love to go to Hawaii at some point.
Yeah, I think you might fit in quite well there.
No, I worry that like the actual Hawaiians would be like, "Who's this poser?"
Yeah, there might be a little. There might be, yeah. But it'll still be a good time, wouldn't it? Still be a good time. Well, Sunshine Machine, thank you guys so much for taking the time to come on the Grapple Theory podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I hope you guys have enjoyed it.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, thank you for having us, man.
Of course. Well, we always end with giving our guests one final bit of promo time. So let's start with TK and then move on to Mambo. But it's just, in the next few months, in the next year, for however long, if people see you guys on a poster as Sunshine Machine or individually, why are Sunshine Machine going to rule the rest of 2022 and into 2023 and beyond?
Let's see. Well, we've already proven it in the two top promotions in the country. So, if you had to argue who was the best tag team in British professional wrestling, your answer would probably be Sunshine Machine. Obviously, people are allowed to have their own opinions, but also opinions are allowed to be wrong. So if you pick anyone else, that'd be incorrect, because we hold two sets of proof simultaneously. Hasn't been done in the longest time. Probably won't be replicated ever again, as far as I'm concerned. And considering the run we're on right now, I would imagine we're at least owed a third, fourth, maybe even a fifth simultaneous strap. Whether that's in British professional wrestling, whether that's in American or Japanese or Mexican professional wrestling. Additionally, we're ready to go. We've proven our mettle in 2021 and 2022 and beyond. We're ready to take it to that. We'll take it to the limit, really.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Go on, Mambo. Can you add to that?
What he said.
Perfect.
Nice.
We got the gods on our side. We are the sunshine. We're not the Sunshine Machine. We're a couple of Sunshine Machines named Sunshine Machine, and we are the most decorated tag team in all of Brit Wrest. Coming on to be the most decorated tag team in all of European wrestling. Coming on to be the most decorated tag team in the world.
There we go. Love it. Beautiful. That is the perfect place to end.